What's up everyone? Sara Dietschy, rhymes with peachy here. If you're not familiar, 2024 has been a year of health challenges, not just for me, but my entire family. And so being in the hospital myself and seeing loved ones there as well has honestly been a huge wake-up call to pay closer attention to just my person, you know, food, working out, and if you know me, I like tech, and so I've gotten into a lot of gadgets and things to help my well-being, basically. So I've been consistent with blood work and even had a full body MRI done to follow up on some lingering postpartum concerns. But this video has a very specific purpose, and it's kind of honing on this thing called glucose. When Lingo reached out to partner with me and wanted to send me their biosensor, honestly, it seemed like perfect timing. This is it. So Lingo provides real-time data on how your body actually responds to the food that you eat throughout the day. One of the reasons why I was actually very curious about glucose monitoring is because when I did my initial blood work, my A1C levels were actually slightly higher than I would like. And so this is an actual science-backed way that I can do it, where I can actually monitor it. And this is the reason why I got so much blood work done, because I wanted to figure out, hey, what things do I need to supplement for? I've never been good about just taking a multivitamin. It's hard to tell what is actually making it change because you don't know actually what you're deficient in the beginning. So that's something that, you know, I've already kind of started my journey on, but I feel like something like this, dealing with glucose, can help me on that piece of maybe limiting the sweets. Okay, I do have a little bit of a sweet tooth. But I never thought it was a problem until I got the blood work done. Anyways, okay, the entire point of me saying that is Lingo is a way that I can actually monitor the change that I want to do. So I'm not just making, you know, decisions in the dark here. So, you know, that's where my brain's at right now. I'm all about getting ahead of my health. Let's try to make things better before a problem happens. I'm sure you've heard the words metabolic health floating around in the ether, right? And it simply refers to how well your body processes and uses energy from the food you eat. And so that's hopefully what I'm gonna learn about in the next month with the help of Lingo. So let's unbox this. So we're gonna open up the Lingo by Abbott app here. Keep your information up to date with Apple Health. Boost energy. Dinner, I eat pretty late. Next, follow these steps to apply your biosensor. Oof, this is exciting. To the back of your upper arm. Why am I a little nervous? It's just gonna be like a little poke. Peel lid completely off. Unscrew cap. Line up the dark mark on biosensor applicator with the dark mark on biosensor pack. On a hard surface, press down firmly. Lift biosensor applicator out. Biosensor applicator is ready to apply the biosensor. Do not touch inside biosensor applicator or put it back into biosensor pack. Finding the most fatty piece of your arm, I guess. So we'll go here. I watched a video on this and everyone made it seem like not a big deal. The entire needle doesn't actually go into your arm, so I'm just gonna do it. Oh, that was nothing. Oh, that was actually nothing. Okay guys, it's intimidating, but I think it's important for you to know that literally felt like nothing. Okay, are we good? Hold the top of your iPhone very close to the biosensor. Your iPhone will vibrate after successfully scanning the biosensor. Oh, and we're in. Does it feel like we're living in the future? Okay, so this is running you through how the Lingo app works. Lingo is water resistant, so you can sweat, swim, shower, and repeat all those things without any concerns. The lifespan of each sensor is up to 14 days, and the Lingo app is where all of your personalized data lives. So it is currently only compatible with iPhone, and we're gonna start to see some data within 60 minutes, which is pretty cool. I ate my favorite breakfast food of all time this morning, a bagel, and it was my first big spike, which was unfortunate to see. Obviously, you could expect that, but now I'm eating a salad for lunch, so we'll see. All right, my first day with Lingo is almost done. It's pretty crazy to see the difference between the bagel I had in the morning and then the Caesar salad I had for lunch. But then for science, I feel like for dinner, we gotta change it up a little bit and see how this popular dish from a popular chain restaurant affects my glucose. This is for science though, okay? Okay, day after Thanksgiving, I woke up later today, had to catch up on some sleep because baby is not sleeping right now. So I didn't eat breakfast this morning, but I have a enchilada with a side salad here for lunch at 1 p.m. on the day after Thanksgiving. More home-cooked meals start next week. But yeah, it's only been a few days, but I am just like so into the Lingo app right now, just looking at what is causing the peaks and what isn't. For lunch, I had tacos. For dinner, I had some grilled chicken and a bed of lettuce. Might have snuck a few French fries. Baby is having mashed up bananas! Bananas! Another day, lunchtime, chicken salad sandwich, salad. But I was most shocked to see that the normal like berry granola bar I had this morning was a huge spike. I eat those all the time. It's a little shocking. Out here with the baby doing our daily walks. Those granola bars are out. I just personally wouldn't have guessed that. Okay, here's the thing, guys. Last night I got my first full night of sleep in a while last night, which was great. So I woke up and I was like, I need a hearty breakfast. Let's just go for it. So, I got a breakfast with just all of the fixings, right? And it spiked pretty good, a big spike. And I ordered this beet ginger turmeric juice as well. And I drank that about an hour after. And it's so interesting to see in the Lingo app that, you have the spike from the breakfast, and as it was coming down, it started to spike back up again, and that was my juice. And what's interesting is I noticed that. And after 2 sips, I just put the juice back in the fridge because I was like, okay, maybe my body needs a little bit of a break. Let's let the breakfast spike come down a little bit. But this is what I'm noticing from today and yesterday. A common thread is yesterday I had a sandwich with, a decently thick piece of bread. And today at breakfast, I had some toast. And you think, okay, I'm getting the toast with the seeds and it's wheat, so it's gonna be better, right? And that's just not true for my body. So just bread in general, whether it's a bagel or just bread in a sandwich, toast, my body definitely spikes the most with that. And so in this next coming week, we're gonna have much more home-cooked meals, but I think it's time to just drop the bread when it comes to chips, like chips and salsa, or French fries, potato-y stuff. I'm not spiking with those things. So, I'm not gonna go overboard with just dropping all carbs because, I think everything in moderation is the best thing to do. But what was most interesting about this morning is I have the craziest headache. So my body feels it too. All right, I'm excited for next week. I think Lingo is a little bit more calibrated, gonna eat a little bit better, and it'll be really interesting to see. Let's talk about how this thing actually works and how glucose works, aka blood sugar. So glucose is fuel that provides energy to your cells. So it goes up and down throughout the day, and it typically rises after high carb meals, intense exercise, or even stress. So as your glucose rises, your body then releases insulin to get that fuel where it needs to go. Insulin is what helps your body use glucose for energy. But when there's too much glucose in your system, the excess glucose is stored as glycogen or fat for later use. So large fluctuations in glucose, those spikes and dips, can make you feel hungry, tired, moody, or just unable to concentrate. So it's important to learn which foods cause the biggest spikes for you. Lingo tracks your glucose in real time through interstitial fluid, or ISF, not blood. So ISF is a thin layer of fluid that surrounds the body's cells. It contains glucose, salts, fatty acids, and minerals. Glucose levels in ISF and blood are usually similar, but there can be a delay of about 5 to 10 minutes between the two because glucose first enters the bloodstream before being absorbed by the ISF. I feel like we're doing a little science corner here. So Lingo helps you visualize your glucose patterns and helps you identify those spikes and then how long it takes for those levels to actually return back to normal. If what I just mentioned was a little confusing, no worries, because Lingo actually aggregated everything into one important metric that is Lingo count. For me, when I use things like this, I need to know the actual science behind it and actually how this stuff works. So, knowing all that is helpful for me, but Lingo Count makes it easier. So it's an easy to use metric designed to help you identify those glucose spikes that are significant enough to actually impact your metabolic health. So by aiming to stay below your daily Lingo Count target, you can reduce significant glucose spikes. Okay, we need to talk about week number 2 with Lingo. I learned a lot of healthy eating and a few detours that, again, taught me a lot. And I'm gonna go through it with you via the Lingo app. This app has your personalized glucose graph, right? So it shows you how your glucose levels fluctuate throughout the day. So the spikes are highlighted in purple, and then steady periods are shown in blue, making it really easy to visualize your glucose patterns. So your goal is to stay below your daily Lingo count, and you can follow their tips and recommendations in the app to help you along the way. And so not only can you log your meals, but you can also log your exercise. Like right here, I did a little bit of a walk with baby after a snack. And so this is gonna help you spot patterns and really understand the impact of your daily habits. Okay, so let's talk through week number 2. Had some meatloaf, some green beans, and you can see there is no Lingo count for that meal. There's no big spike. There's a little bit of one, but those blue up and down, that's completely normal. And that means, hey, my body handled it well. Ever since my mom has been struggling with some health issues, my entire family has pitched in to basically have someone come meal prep our meals once a week. So we basically have 3 to 4 days of really healthy meals that we don't have to think about, and that really helps out everyone. And it was really interesting to see how whenever I ate one of those meals, I did not spike once, which is a very different story than when I normally order a delivery food. However, last week did help me to hone in on what are the best things to, get from delivery. So moving on to the second day, man, I was feeling good. I had some momentum, right? So I just made some scrambled eggs, barely any spike at all. For lunch, I had another one of those meal prep meals. We had some chicken marsala, and then I had a little snack later in the day, and that was those darn granola bars that just spike me all the time. I'm not gonna throw away the granola bars, right? I gotta finish the box, but after, we gotta get some new snacks in here. I'm thinking some almonds, some different nuts. I need to find like a less sugary bar because bars are just so easy to grab and go, right? So we did a little bit of a walk, and then at dinner I had another meal prep meal. So I had that meatloaf, green beans, and I think I had a salad too. And as you can tell, no spikes. Oh man, the graph doesn't lie, right? I think this 5, I had some barbecue chips at 12 a.m. I'm not perfect. No one's perfect here, okay, guys? Okay, scrolling to the next day, I think this 8 was a breakfast sandwich, right? Yeah, a breakfast sandwich from just like a coffee shop. Lunch, I had another meal prep, so that's like chicken casserole. And then for dinner, I had chicken marsala again. So isn't it interesting to see how I just stay pretty flat when I just eat healthy, right? The amazing woman who helps us with meals, she's not going too crazy with it, right? It is low carb, low dairy, low sugar, but it doesn't really eliminate anything because I know with my family, we gotta still like it and enjoy eating it. And so this was really not just interesting to see, but it was encouraging to see that, okay, these meals are actually working out for my body and, hopefully the rest of the families. And so that was really cool to see. So I had a good majority of the week. Let me tell you about missteps that I had. There's a popular Texas fast food chain around here that I eat occasionally, right? Last week, I ordered a normal cheeseburger from them, and I had a small fry. And I was, I was surprised. It didn't spike too much. It was like an 8, right? It had a Lingo count of 8. And I was like, hey, that's not bad. Not bad. I'll be better, but every now and then, treat yourself. So me thinking that all menu items are created equal, right? Right? So I order the honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich with a small fry again. Look at the spike. It like goes off of the graph. At its peak, my glucose was 200. The healthy range that you want to stay in between is basically 70 and 140. 200. A few hours after I ate that, I was like shaking a little bit. And I was like, why am I shaking? I was kind of like feeling a little, wired, right? But like not in a good way. And I was like, wait, what did I do? Oh, I had the honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich. Let me look at the Lingo app and boom, I was floored. And honestly, it kind of scared me out of eating that. I will never eat that again. I will literally never eat that again. Like, that's crazy. I don't want to do that to my body. One, I felt terrible, but two, I'm like, I was making my body work really hard. Oh, okay. So the past couple weeks have been extremely insightful for me. One, because I've really honed in on the restaurants that I commonly order delivery from. And I know with 100% assurance now, stay away from these certain menu items, right? And then other ones, go for it. They either cause smaller spikes for me, like 8 to 10, or they don't cause a meaningful rise in glucose at all. One of my favorite spots, they have a really good chicken Caesar salad and it doesn't cause a spike at all. And so that gives me confidence for those places when I can't cook, when I don't have meals prepped, right? That is there, like my list of menu items that I can choose from. But then also it is, number two, really great to have confidence in some of the meals that we've put together for meal prep that, okay, these are healthy. These are some great meals to move forward with. And so I think as I kind of approach the second half of this challenge, if you want to call it that, I'm excited to actually dive into the Lingo app a little bit more and do some of their recommendations, do some of their challenges. Completing these challenges, you actually get, a fancy little badge that you can earn that helps you really advance towards your health goals. So the fact that it's a little bit gamified is really cool. So we're gonna try that. I'm excited. And it's time to switch out to a new sensor. I believe I need to do that tomorrow. So let's go. You did it. Okay, so we're in the Lingo app here and I have some of the challenges pulled up and there's two that I want to get started with. So I love this idea of give carbs company. For most of your meals and snacks this week, focus on pairing carbs with a source of protein. You can always enjoy carbs after you've eaten your protein, like a meal that includes carbs and protein on committed days to get the credit. So I love this idea of pairing because how I was successful pre-pregnancy on being honestly the fittest I've been in a while is not completely depriving myself of restaurants that I like to eat at or foods that I really enjoy, right? But I just balanced it out. So for lunch, I got one of my favorite like fresh Mexican grill places, right? And I love their enchiladas, but ooh, that's a lot of tortilla, right? But I did two things. I got a huge thing of lettuce for a side salad instead of the beans and rice. That's just more carbs, right? But also I changed what's inside. This was a really great insight that I got from wearing Lingo. Was one of the enchiladas that I was getting, it was sweet pork. Of course it had sweet in the name, so obviously it wasn't the best, but I really spiked when eating that. So now there's just like boring grilled chicken in there, but it's still delicious. I still get that hit of eating what I want to eat, right? Splurging a little bit, but it's paired with a healthier option, right? And that's exactly what I did before and it really worked for me. So, 50% of the time, yeah, I'm just eating grilled chicken and broccoli and healthy stuff, but the other 50% of the time, I want to eat at these places that I love, right? It's just about picking the better option, right? I love that they even put some ideas down here on what you could eat. The whole thing with trying to build healthier habits, it seems so intimidating, but when you have something in writing right there, it is just like so much easier to start, right? So we're gonna say start challenge. Which days can you commit? Let's just go the next 3 days for now. All right, we're gonna focus on this challenge, many more to come. So good. Look at that smile. Someone's being talkative. Okay, we have a little carb, but then we got the protein. Some rice, some bulgogi, some kimchi, some cabbage, some carrots. Okay, I was just gonna have like 2 pieces of toast and some butter for breakfast. I'll have 1 piece of toast and give the carbs company. I'm gonna make some eggs. Okay, we did it. A little bit of carb and some protein. Okay, I've completed my first challenge. the protein with carbs challenge, but I'm excited. I think the second challenge I'm gonna do is the fitness challenge, where after you eat, you just go for a walk or do something physically active after you eat. That's gonna be easy. Beautiful day, I'm gonna go for a walk, and then if it's not beautiful outside, I'll do some squats. Squats are great. Nice and sunny. Feels good outside. Just full on living that bird life now, you know? Baby and I are sharing meals tonight. We have a very low carb meal tonight. We have spaghetti and meatballs, but the spaghetti is squash spaghetti, so no carbs. And baby is just going to eat some squash. Yummy, 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 yummy. Alright, it's after dinner. I'm ready to my walk today, but that means I just do 10 squats.
She's laughing at you. She's like, you've never done this before.
Listen, I did 20 squats yesterday and my legs are so sore. 1.
There you go.
2.
Yeah.
Okay, today we have plain Greek yogurt with some granola and berries. It'll definitely probably be a little bit of a sugar hit, but you know, the kind that we don't mind. Squash spaghetti and the meatball. Again, it's good. It's very good. Late night walk. A dark walk in the hood. Interesting tidbit for you. Bread, granola bars, breakfast sandwiches have all spiked my blood sugar, but guess what doesn't? Well, ice cream. Now this is the low calorie, low in fat, and lower in sugar, but it still has sugar. I ate like a third of it. I had a little bit of a spike, but it just came back down. Shout out. I can enjoy just a little bit of ice cream every now and then. Doesn't hurt anyone. Okay, we did it, woo! Ton of insights. I wrote some notes down. Yeah, using Lingo has just been incredibly helpful in understanding my own health and also how my body responds to the food I eat. There were some surprises, but there were also some like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And you know, along the way, I could make some small changes here and there, and it could, you know, drastically affect my glucose patterns. Like for example, going on walks. Going for a walk after lunch or dinner would noticeably reduce my glucose spikes after I ate those meals. This experience really reinforced the importance of figuring out what works for me. You know, there was a lot of like sweet versus savory experiments that I did. And what's interesting, what I found, usually you would think, oh, always go savory instead of sweet, right? When it comes to snacking, which is usually true. But it turns out when it comes to sweet treats, I actually have so much more self-control. So I can take a few bites of an ice cream, or I can take like one bite of a cookie and be done and I'm good. However, one night I got carried away and ate half a bag of very big barbecue chips, and I had a glucose spike of like 18. And I was like, oh, no, I can't do that, you know? And the 2 bites of ice cream that I had the night before, I didn't spike at all. Granted, that was a low sugar, low calorie ice cream, you know, but that is just something to keep in mind, that just because something is savory doesn't necessarily mean it's the absolute healthiest option. But I think that was probably the most unique insight to me, because I'm sure other people's bodies are different, and you know, what you have self-control with and what you don't. But that was really helpful to see. Seeing those big spikes in the Lingo app really just makes you never want to have that huge bag of chips again. You know, it's actually very helpful on the self-control side. And the last insight, not all food delivery is created equal. Not all fast food is created equal. I was actually able to figure out, you know, those meals that don't spike my glucose at all. Or if I'm feeling like I need a little treat, right? This burger over here only increased my Lingo count by 8. But from the same store, the chicken strip sandwich that you got, 36. I think that is it. I feel like gaining these insights can now have an impact on my entire life, which is awesome. That's what's so cool about this. So I appreciate Lingo for partnering with me on this video. It was such a pleasure. If you are interested in learning more on how your body responds to the foods that you eat, and you're interested in building better habits, you can start your journey journey today, check out Lingo. Go to hellolingo.com. There, of course, is a link in my description below. And yeah, I've been on quite the health journey, guys. Postpartum life has not treated me the best, so I'm still actively figuring some stuff out, but I feel like I kind of want to make a part 2 where I show off my fancy spreadsheet where I have all of my biomarkers marked, and then, you know, maybe show you some of the scans that I did and the GIF I have of my brain. I don't know, this stuff is super cool. I'm just all about it right now, and so I appreciate you guys being part of the journey. Let me know if you like this video. Hit that subscribe button down below for new videos every single week. And well, until next time, everyone, stay peachy. Okay, bye!